People ask, how did you start working in business and all your businesses with zero money?
So I think the purpose of them asking that is they want to start businesses, but they don't have money.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you need to come to someone like me. I'll give you the money. If you've got a good business idea and you've got a proven track record within that industry, right, I'll fund your business. But don't send me a DM on Instagram saying, hey, I've got a business idea. Demonstrate, right? This is who I am. This is what I've done. This is what I want to do now. This is why I can do it. And send me like some form of a business plan. Show me some numbers. Show me you know what you're talking about. Because pie in the sky, loads of people have got ideas. You know, business. You know, every business starts from an idea. It's important to have an idea. Yes, but what's more important than the idea is the execution. Can you execute that idea? You know, I'm sure everybody. You walk around the streets. Everybody's got an idea, right? But you got to be able to execute it. So demonstrate to me. Send me an email, right? Tell me why you can do it, how you can do it, what your idea is. I'll give you the money. That's your solution. If you've got a business idea and you haven't got the money, come to me. If you want to come to me, you don't like me, there's loads of people out there, you know, similar to me, other business people, you know, other family members you've got. You can pull money together from them. Not having money is not an excuse to not be able to start a business.
How many hours a day did you used to, and how many hours a day do you work still since you started your business? Like what time you wake up, what time you go to bed?
I work from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep. I'm always constantly thinking business. How I work it is that I do holidays throughout the year, and I try to, when I'm on holiday, completely switch off. Not reply to emails, not check my emails, not take work phone calls, absolute just cleanse from it all, let my mind refresh. It doesn't always work like that, but it does sometimes as well, right? Sometimes, you know, you've got too much going on, you just can't leave it. But sometimes it does work out, and it just like you come back to your office and you've got a fresh, clean mind. You know, it's like you're starting all over again. You become really optimistic again, and you start seeing things from a different light, right? Everything's a lot more clear to you. Often when you're constantly working, you're inside the business, your mind gets foggy. You know, you've got too many different things that are running through your mind, and you can stop seeing certain things that are happening, or certain opportunities, or the big picture. And when you take yourself out of the situation, you take that big break, you come back refreshed and with a clear mind and able to see things. So I think, however you do it, some people are the sort of people who say, you know, I work from, and these are good successful entrepreneurs, that I work from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and I shut off after that. I can't do that personally, right? That's just not how I operate. But some people do it that way. But it's important to take the breaks. There's no way of working where you're just constantly flat out working. I used to, at this stage, but I used to back in the day, if you went back when I was in the early days of my career, I made a lot of sacrifices. I wouldn't go out, I didn't have friends, I wouldn't have any social circles. I would work 7 days a week, around the clock. The only breaks I had was when I was asleep, right? And I'd do that for a year and 2 years on end, right? That is also part of the journey, but in the long term, sustainability wise, you can't constantly do that. You've got to take your breaks and refresh yourself so you have that energy within you. But you've got to be ready to put in some hard work. Even until, you know, when we're starting this business, CPIC, I had days where I would come to the office at 9 a.m. and I would leave at 5 a.m. I'd go to sleep 3-4 hours when we're setting up the business, 3-4 hours, go to sleep and repeat again, same hours. 9 a.m., 4 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 a.m., 18, 20, 22 hour days, back to back to back for like a week, 2 weeks. So it happens. So what we've just been doing is we've been filming a vlog. The first all access vlog, 001, was my journey. It started from university, leaving uni, and then going all the way up to Spain, Dubai, Floyd Mayweather, going back home, Dad sending me back to London with £500 one-way ticket, saying don't come back home again, right? And then that was all access 001. Now we just did from there up until today. Okay. So following on from that, what we've been doing is Dali's been asking some questions about that and general questions, and I've been answering them. So, have you got any questions that you think be valuable for the viewers? By the way, Hamid's my cousin, and he runs One Investments. So if anybody looks at this and says, what a liar Zee is, he never had £500, he must have had millions behind him. And this is my own cousin sat in front of me. I can't lie, he'd be like, what the fuck are you taking these lies for?
So, I think the question I was just thinking of now was the motivation part.
Yeah.
When you're at that point, for example, the £500 point, where do you turn, where do you look, who, are you looking at other people? How did you find motivation then? What was something that triggered you or anything? Because I think a lot of people are probably watching in a state of, maybe they're not as in that bad of a situation, but maybe they're like, just like, what do I do? What next steps do I take? How do I find motivation? Where do I find motivation? There's a lot of people out there with ability.
When
it's about sparking it. So what do you feel like? How do you felt like you got sparked?
How did I feel then?
Yeah.
So for me, in that situation, I just inherently within me, we spoke about this, had a belief that I'm born to do something, that I have to do something.
Yeah.
Right? So no matter what situation I was in, like in my pocket, I was zero, but in my head, I was a billionaire.
Yeah.
Right? So I was always in my head, I was always that billionaire. So you've got to tune yourself and program yourself in that head that no matter what situation you're in, if you saw me out walking on the street, you'd be like, that's a made man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going back to basically a £450 studio in the worst area of London at the back of someone's house. They converted a shed into a studio, but you saw me on the street, you'd be like, this guy's a made man. It's about the mindset. It's about in your head believing what you are going to be, and then acting like that, and taking action. You've got to take action. I explained to them earlier how I got a job in one day, and I believe anybody can do that. Anybody can say if somebody sets their mind today, I'm going out and I'm not going to come home until I have a job, they can do it. I've done it myself.
Yeah. I agree.
You've done it. You went out to Dubai.
Yeah, when you just turn up and you're like, right, I've got to make things happen.
I've got to make things happen. If you start feeling sorry for yourself when you sit there and think, and you sit there and think, oh, poor me, look what my parents done to me, look what this did to me, and then you're not going to get nowhere.
Another question I'm thinking of is, what is your point where you feel like, you know what, I'll take my foot off the gas, or is that not an option? Do you think, there's going to be a point in your life where you're like, for example, now, some people might turn to you and say, listen, you came from zero, so getting to here is, amazing. Why don't you just chill out now? Or why don't you just go on holiday 6 months of the year? Where do you think you'll stop?
It's not about money.
It's not about money.
It's not
legacy.
It's not just about. It's about legacy. It's about legacy. It's about, when I was a kid, what I used to say is, I want to be down in history books. If you go watch The Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
In my interviews and all this, that was one of the things they said, that I want my name to go down in history. And Karen Brady, is that her name?
Yeah.
Who's one of Lord Sugar's assistants.
Yeah.
She said in one of the episodes, I think it was the one I got fired, or one of the later ones, the after show, right? Either it was my episode, another one, they said, they're talking about all the candidates, and they played that clip of me saying, I'm going to go down in history. And she said, you know what the funny thing is? He actually believes that.
Yeah.
He's not just saying that, he believes that.
Yeah. It's good.
So
I think the people that believe it are the ones that do it, they're the ones that achieve it.
So it's not about money, it's about legacy. It's about, I always say this when we do, what is your motivation? My motivation is to be the best version of myself. To know that at the end of my life, that I did the best that I could with my life. That my friends, my family, my children, they can find inspiration from it and think, you know what, let's get it. But one point is that maybe at some point in my journey, which is likely, I think, is that when I've got enough money for myself, for my kids, for them to have a good life, for them to sustain their own lives, for me to sustain my lifestyle, then I might move away from business and move into public service.
Okay.
Doing something for people. I don't know what it is yet. Will it be politics? Maybe. Will it be charity? Maybe. But when I've got enough, like where I know my kids are sorted, life's sorted, everything's sorted.
Because of back in the day, it would have been a certain amount. Now, that's what I'm saying. Now you get to X amount, you're like, well, it's the next step. And then when you get to that amount, it's like, it's the next step. So what is the figure that you think, right, let me move into something else now?
I don't know. I don't know what the figure is yet. But when I reach that figure, when I know that, lifestyle can be sustained for the rest of my life, kids' education's covered, kids have got a secure future,
Yeah.
right? And not just kids, you know, all of you guys.
Yeah.
Akib,
Family.
you, all of these are working.
Everybody's
there's a
set.
full operation there.
It's set, yeah.
And it's not that we've just sold everything.
Yeah, yeah.
The operation's there, but I can just step away and move away, man. Like, I don't have to be part of it anymore. Everyone's just on autopilot.
Everybody's set.
Everyone's set. The whole family's set. Everyone's loving it. And then I'll think, okay,
Next step.
move into public service. But a lot of people that I've seen in public service, the problem they have is they don't have enough money, right? So then the two things get mixed up. I don't want to do that. When I go into public service, I want to be in public service. Not that I'm going into public service, for example, I've set up a charity, but I'm taking a wage from the charity of £1 million a year.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
When I do whatever I go into, whether it's politics
Full heart.
or charity, whatever it is, it's going to be,
100%.
I've left business. I've got no involvement in business anymore.
Yeah. Another question I wanted to ask was, in your period of when you started working, from the day one you were like, you know, you started working and maybe you had ups and downs, yeah, which you probably definitely did, I know you
Maybe.
did. So, no, ups and downs, when was it where you
Rollercoaster.
felt, after I've actually put my mind to it, when did you feel like after, was it 3 years into it, 4 years, where you felt like, you know what, things are on an upward now? Not that they went up and they went down and they went up and they went down, like when it started, okay, smooth sailing upwards from here. After how many years of ups and downs, a roller coaster of emotions?
I don't think there's ever smooth sailing.
Okay.
There is never smooth sailing, man. It is business is always.
A bit more, I'd say.
I
You end
understand
up
your
on a bigger
question.
boat, you know, in a bigger boat and you're like a bit more comfortable.
I understand your question, right? Your question is for people who are the young people
Yeah.
out there who are starting in business.
I'm asking
and
from
they-
my perspective as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my age group, my perspective.
If you want to achieve anything in life of anything substantial, dedicate 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I remember
A
that.
decade.
I remember Zee said that to me even when I first started working. He said, no matter what, do not give it less than 2 years. Like, you have to give it 2 years either way. If you make zero money, you make £1 billion, you have to stay here 2 years no matter what, to say at least I gave it the shot, given it a chance, and now I can decide this wasn't for me or it was for me. You give it 2, 3 months, 6 months, you can't put an idea on it saying that this was the right job for me or not.
Young people do that a lot. They go
Yeah.
they go into, for example, a career or something, or start a business. They do it 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Nah, it didn't work. Move
Yeah.
on.
I think
Everything can work.
Akib
You
is
gotta
a
make it
prime
work.
example of that.
Oh,
Akib is an amazing example of that. Couple of years down, he's like thinking, is this going? And after, like, now you look at Akib, he's like, I'm a made man, you know, I'm living my life, I'm doing whatever I want to do.
Akib's my brother, and
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier that he started with me like 2 years or a year and a half into One Investments, and he did a degree in IT, right? He was opposite to
Yeah.
the property sector. Property is all about wheeling, dealing, hustling. This guy was a fucking IT geek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he learned coding at uni. He was a coder. And now he's an absolute beast in the property market. He's one of our sales directors, you
Yeah.
know, generating tens of millions of pounds in revenue.
Beast, yeah.
So
I think
that's the most important
saying that though, Akib did bring all his talents to the table when we were initial days. Akib was always bringing his IT skills to the table. It was always something he was doing for us, like random shit.
Somebody needs Microsoft Word on
Yeah.
the computer fixing, he would do it.
He'd do it.
Phone's not working, he would do it.
Anything IT related that we could try and branch towards him, he'd get done. But I think another thing I'd add to that is anybody working for that sort of period of time, some people might be like, oh well, why did Akib do that? I just think the benefit of it is obviously you being together, your family, you all got each other's backs, you know, whenever you want, you know,
Yeah.
like Zee was just saying about the watch situation, you know, what other situation are you calling someone and saying, listen, first of all, I need to go into your house without anybody there, get the keys, find where you keep this, get that money, go without you've even seen me there, you don't know, I could have taken twice the amount for all he knows. Go out. So when you've got that relationship with family, I don't think you can get that anywhere else. Where you call someone, say I need X amount of cash, you go into the house without anyone there, and then come out, do it all, and then you come back. So I think that's one benefit of having family and working together in a working environment.
No, we were talking about that. I said that right now there's probably 8 or 9, I don't know exactly how many family members who work together.
Yeah.
But this is like, you know, I didn't even plan it to that level that what it's going to become. But I can now see in 10 years from now, it's going to be an empire, because all these young kids, they've come in and they've learned so much.
Yeah.
They all become soldiers in their own right. And when it's family, A, everyone's on the same page. B, everyone's got the same belief. It's a very important thing that I keep going back to about belief, right? Because when a younger cousin comes in the family and he sees Hamid doing it, and Hamid's got loads of money and he's got, he's enjoying a great lifestyle, right? They think, that's my cousin. I grew up with this guy. I can do it.
100%.
And they look at me and say, that's just Zee. I can do it. You look at Akib.
Yeah.
Akib, we used to push him around on the bouncy castle when we were kids. I can do it. Well, whatever the situation is, or they used to bully me or whatever it might be, right? So the point is that what I see now is in 10 years to come is they're going to be like 9, 10 beasts from the family that are like all of that same stature and level, and that's going to be a force. That's going to be a force, and it was never planned, because
you never thought that down the journey that I would want my.
No, I'd want it, but I just thought, because a lot of things in life also you look at and you look at what other people are doing.
To be honest, I think the way we started working together was overnight. It was completely random.
Yeah.
Completely random. One day it was just made a phone call to you, I think, randomly, and it was just from there. So it was not like some come out of university or come out of education and we'll start working together. It was a one night thing, and I think within 2 weeks I was in an office in Dubai working. I think I was 18. Yeah, I was just straight out of A levels. It was 6 months.
19 probably.
19, yeah, probably 18, 19. Yeah, 6 months after I finished my A levels. I think it was something like that.
So the thing, there's two things to that. Now, firstly, because a lot of the things that you think are possible in life, you look at other people and what they've done and you think, that's all that's possible, right? So I look at other people around me. Why it never occurred to me that you can create this force and empire within your family is because I hadn't seen anybody around me do it, right? So I thought it's not possible.
Yeah.
So, but this just by chance, I just saw when these guys were coming in, I just saw this as an opportunity that in my own family, who would I rather put all this time and effort in developing than my own family? And just thanks to God that it's all just come together.
Big risk, if you ask me. Big risk. Yeah.
And now it's just become. I think that's. Now it's become anybody in the family who wants a job, who wants a new role. They come here. They're come here and get sorted.
I think it's I don't know. I think. I don't know what initiative you got from taking that risk, to be quite honest, because at the end of the day, in especially probably a lot of the viewers that are watching probably know and understand our culture. Yeah. So they probably realise taking your family on, especially for example, I'm your cousin, I'm not direct brother.
Yeah.
Some people may be thinking, that's a risk. You got, the salaries coming out from the company, and there's families involved, etc. It's a big risk you take, but Zee did it, so.
Man, if you've got the right intentions, things work out.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think a lot of people overthink things, man.
Yeah.
When I look at other people, they overthink things. What will this person say? What will that person say? What will happen there? If you've got the right intention, don't get distracted by what people are going to think and say and what the worst possible outcome is. Focus on the best possible outcome of a situation.
Yeah.
If I sit there and you're coming in and I'm like, oh shit, man, what if he doesn't do well and I've got to pay all his wages and his mum and dad are going to say I fucked his life up.
Yeah.
But why think that? Think that we're going to work together and he's going to become successful.
Yeah, true. I'm just waiting for the vlog where I do Zee's biography, yeah? Because I've seen it. I've honestly been there when we were in an office and there was 4 people sat in, I think it was probably this size, in that office with literally, it was just us 3, me and Akib, I think, and you at one point, and it was just us 3 rolling with each other. And then I remember progressing from there, then we went to Hammersmith, then we went to Battersea, etc. So yeah, from the start of the journey really.